Okay, so hello everyone. First of all, I would like to present my gratitude for giving me such an opportunity. Now, today we are going to talk about the Gen Zs. What do we actually understand by the word Gen Zs? Who are the real Gen Zs? Right? Now, these are the people who are built and born with technology, right? They are always on their phones, they are dealing with the technology, they are tech savvy. Everything that they see, everything that they encounter with, they are too much into technology, and they are the ones who are actually teaching us. Even though we belong to the modern generation, still these are the children who are way ahead of us, right? So today we are going to just look out how to tackle the Gen Zs, because when we are inside the school or when we are talking and dealing with the Gen Zs, it's always as if, because they know technology more than us, they feel that they know more than us in terms of everything, right? And this is the reason why they feel that there's no need to pay attention, because they are so much handy with the technology that they can find anything on the internet, right? But if that would have been the case, why we are there? As educators, as teachers, it is very important for us to guide them out that this is not the place. You're supposed to look beyond it, right? So today we will be talking about the strategies. Now, the topic is cracking the Gen Z code, teaching strategies for the digital generation. Who is the digital generation? The current one. The ones who are born with the technology, they're born with the Wi-Fi, they're born with the phones in their hand, right? I'm Yashvi Parwani. I have been into the field of education for 5 years and above. I belong to the literature background, and my constant aim is to develop critical thinking, communication skills, and holistic growth, holistic development in the students. So today I am going to bring some of my experiences, and I'm going to deal with it along with you. I'm going to hear out what are your experiences and your issues that you have faced till date. So the very first question is, who are Gen Zs? As I told you, they are the ones born with technology, right? So they are digital natives. They are the one who are so much into phones. You would have seen students or children who are just 2 3 years old, their parents give them the phone, right? They know how to open YouTube, they know how to find their games, everything they are very much aware of. These are the students, these are the children who are digital natives, who are tech savvy, right? They're highly visual and interactive learners. They are the ones who have such a great creative thinking, because they're seeing everything online, right? They're looking out of everything, they're creative, they can visualize anything, they can imagine anything. They're interactive learners, they're constantly interacting. But there is a small thing, they do have that communication gap. Why? Because they know how to interact behind the screen, but they fail to do it when they're in front of the person, right? They have shorter attention span, but they are fast processors. Why? Now, how do we say they have short attention span? We have seen all of us use Instagram. The Instagram reels are for just a few seconds or a few minutes, right? We have this urge to constantly see, to see what is happening, what is going to happen in the reels. They have very short attention span. Like, they feel as if they cannot keep up their attention for a very long period of time at a particular thing. This is something that the teachers face a lot, right? As soon as the child grows up, they're like, they need something innovative, something interactive every now and then, correct? But they are fast processors, because they are so much into technology. They have such a wide range of exposure with internet, with the content that is available on internet. They can very easily process. We are the ones, at times we hear, we think and we think and we think, but they can relate to the dots really quickly. This is one of the good things about being a Gen Z, about being into the digital world, right? They are independent, yes, but they need guidance. Why? Because anything left to students without guidance is going to create a lot of blunder. It is important that we as teachers, we as educators, constantly provide them help, that guidance. We facilitate them with what kind of content they're supposed to consume, rather than adopting and accepting every kind of content that they're encountering with. They are socially conscious. They are very much aware about the issues that are happening in the world currently. If you're going to talk to the students, they will be knowing what kind of war is going to happen, or what kind of war is actually happening, or what is the president of like what is the say of the president of the US, and how they are working, what are the current issues that India is facing, how they can be treated, how they can be molded out, what are the solutions. They are socially conscious. They have their say on each and everything. They are contemporary aware about all the issues. They promote inclusivity. There was a time when children used to bully, or maybe they were very stereotypical, but now the time is changing, because everything is there on internet. There is so much of awareness, ads, and we are aiming, the government is also aiming to make students aware. That's why they have accepted, and they are reaching at a stage where they accept everyone. They are the ones who are promoting collaboration. There was a time when everyone used to think that we are supposed to outshine to the others, but now they are community oriented. They believe that it is important that we work in a team. They have understood and accepted the importance of the team and the teamwork, and the importance of collaborative work. It is very important to know, and it is important to generate such what can you say, the traits, the qualities in the students, that it is important that you collaborate, you value other people as well. They are creative. They have the entrepreneurial mindset. There was a time when people used to just run behind the jobs, that we want to be the doctors or CAs or teachers. But now is the time when they are generating their own work, right? They are aiming to become the influencers, the bloggers. They are bringing their own small scale businesses. They are being creative. We never thought that staying at home we can sell stickers or maybe stationery. When we were young, we did not think about it, right? But now the students, I remember there was a student of mine. She was in eighth standard, and she was like, I have my own small business. I sell keychains, I sell the stickers, I sell the small diaries, etc., etc., the stationery stuff. So even at such a young age, they are planning to be self-dependent, right? So this is the Gen Z, the digital generation, where they're using the technology for their own benefit. But when we talk about something that is good, the digital world, we also see the challenges that we encounter. One is short attention span, as we talked. Children are forever in this field, in this feeling that they want something new. Every time if you're going to go to them with the same strategy, with the same teaching method, they're not going to enjoy it. It is very important for us as teachers to develop their attention, to develop their interest, so that they are focusing in the class, so that they know their attention span increases. They like to learn what they're learning, right? Another thing is, when you present them with a lot of information, they get overwhelmed. They don't know, they don't want to see it. Instead, it is important that we provide them with less information. Fine, if you're going to constantly give them so much, their brain cannot accept it, because they want to categorize it, they want to narrow it down, they want to generate schemas in their mind, and they want to set all those things into it, right? In the world where phones are so easily accessible, internet is so easily accessible, digital world also turns out to be a distraction. A lot of you would have seen the parents constantly complain that the child is a lot into phone, and he or she does not talk, they don't go outside for the playing. It works as a distraction as well. It is the role of a teacher as well as the parents, how they want to monitor that distraction, right? Another very important thing is that one faces a lot of mental health issues. Now why? Because behind the screen there is no real life interaction. You can express, but the other person, you don't know what is the age of the other person, what is the mentality of the other person, what is the experience of the other person, what is the experience, and how, what is their life, right? So in that case, There are a lot of times when your issues, your anxiety, your maybe the panic that you have, they're not catered. The screen cannot tell you. The people behind the screen cannot tell you very easily. And here I'm not talking about the online sessions that are taken. Instead, the general interaction, right? It is the parents, the teachers, the friends, or maybe the colleagues, or someone who is elder to you, who can cater you up. When you fail to express yourself, is one of the times when you start feeling that mental health issue, because you don't know how to express, you don't know how to talk, you don't know how to put words, right? Students have this, there is this communication gap. Now you will see that there is this a lot of slangs happening, the new language that is coming, they're using a lot of emojis, the short forms, and at times you'll see that in the papers also. They will write, there's so much into it that they will write all those in the paper also. Why? That is the communication gap. Why that is happening? Because of the excessive exposure to the digital world, to the phone, to the telephone, to the laptops, to the Wi-Fi, to the internet, etc. They have very low motivation in terms of traditional methods. No one is saying that everything has to be traditional, but it is important that there has to be, I'm saying, the blend of traditional and modern technologies or modern methods. Because if everything is traditional, it is going to be a very passive class. And NAP says that the students are supposed to be introduced into an active learning environment where they are the ones who are generating the information, not the ones who are passively accepting the information. So as a teacher, it is very important that we do motivate them to understand the value of the traditional method. Now, one of the basic common traditional methods is the blackboard. Blackboard plays a very important role in the life of a teacher. But only catering to blackboard is going to decrease the motivation in the students, is going to make the lesson very boring. That is something that one needs to take care of. Lack of patience. With time, it has been seen that people are losing the patience, and it could be for anything. It could be because of the temperature, it could be because of the work environment, it could be because you're not happy inside of because of some family issue, or maybe you're not happy with the students, or maybe you're not happy with whatever you got. It's anything. It could be anything which leads to lack of patience, and a lot of times it comes in the class. A lot of times it comes when we are interacting with others. We are getting slow with the feedbacks. The Gen Zs are the ones who get everything like this very quickly. So they want, if they are telling or asking something, they need the feedback immediately. If it is slow, they lose the motivation, they lose the importance and the value of that thing, and they also lose the interest in the class or maybe in the topic or whatever is going on. They lose it. They need the feedback quickly and in a positive way. That is something very important that I need to mention. Because you need to be critical, but you need to put it in a very positive way. Because this is not the generation who can accept or hear out the harsh reality or hear out the harsh words. It is important that as a teacher, we are sensitive about it, we are empathetic about it, we are providing the critical feedback, but in a positive way. I will repeat that again. It is important for us to tell them what is the need of what they are studying, what is the purpose. Because without telling how it is related to the contemporary world, it is very important to gain their attention. And it turns out to be a challenge. A lot of times you'll see a history class, they'll say, why do we need to learn about what did the Mughal do? Or why do we need to learn about any of the wars that happened? What is the purpose? What is the relevance? You cannot tell them that it happened and it is there in the course and we need to do it. No. We are supposed to tell them how it is relevant even today. Why it is important for us. What are we learning even today? What was the condition then and how it has changed now? What are the developments that are happening? What is the purpose of it? Very important. To tell them, to relate them to the contemporary issues, to relate them to the contemporary world. to the 21st century thing, to the 21st century in whole. Another thing is the challenge that comes out is that they are too much dependent on the technology. At times, you'll see that they try to show that they know it more than us because they've already read it. They already know about it. They have the exposure. And it turns out to be a challenge at times. If you give them an assignment or a homework today, what do? They go to ChatGPT, they upload the document, and they provide you the answers to it. Or maybe if you're supposed to do some chapter in the coming classes, they'll read it out, they'll find out all the issues and whatever things you're going to cater, they're going to ChatGPT, they're going to do everything. And they're going to come and show as if they know a lot of it. But this is where the work of a facilitator and educator comes. It is very important when we know that they are too much dependent on the technology, they have so much exposure to the technology, we are way ahead of them. We know more than them. We have explored more than them. It is very important to generate our own resources, to go beyond what they have encountered or to go beyond what they have explored. Another important challenge that the Gen Zs face is poor time management and the execution. They are spending so much time on the technology, watching reels, watching YouTube, playing games, that they don't know how to manage time. And at the end of the day, they're like, we don't know how to do it. We're facing a lot of issues. We have no solution to it. We have less time and more work to do. Thus, it is important that we constantly monitor them. We constantly guide them, turn out as their facilitators and explain it to them why it is important to have time management and how to execute what they are planning. Now, communication barrier, as I told you, too much into slangs, using a lot of emojis, bringing the communication making it very small, cut short the words, using D instead of the. A lot of things happen. They even do that when they're communicating with the elders, right? So constant monitoring obviously is very important, and constant guidance is also important, so that the child knows and realizes the importance of communication, of a healthy communication. Now, when we say that we want to make Gen Zs learn, how can we do it? We need to seek that they actively participate. The lecturer should not be passive. And NAP precisely focuses on it. It precisely comments on it, that the class has to be structured in a way that they actively participate, they generate their own knowledge, they gain it out, they develop it. We are supposed to relate them to the real world and the relevance of the lesson to the real world. Just talking about what happened in the war is not significant. How it is important right now. Why it is important to learn English. Why is it important to know about a lot of things that the science talks about? If you don't know that there is a stomata in the leaf that helps it breathe, when someone asks you, what will you say? How do they breathe? What is happening? Are the plants living or not? It is very important. The everyday, day-to-day things one must know. Relevance of the lessons has to be catered and discussed by an educator with the students. Multimedia rich environment. Just going with the blackboard is not something that goes in the 21st century. Instead, you need to use the resources that are multimedia, that have rich environment and the context in it, that they develop the interest of the child. It includes basically this the sensories of the students. It's not just seeing, it's about hands-on experiences, it's about listening, looking, feeling, touch, everything. It has to be included, right? Now, another thing is quick feedback and recognition. One needs to give a quick feedback. Late or delayed feedback is of no use. The child cannot bring the change, or the child cannot imply all those things. Collaboration with autonomy. Very important. One needs to collaborate, have a teamwork. The tasks are supposed to be generated in a way that they are building the team, they're working in team, they're collaborating with one another, but to have the power of an autonomy also. What does it mean? One needs to have his or her individual say, his or her individual contribution. If there is a team of five, it's not like only the team leader has to perform the major things. The work has to be equally divided amongst all the five, so that they do their individual part, but they're collaborating along to give some meaningful uh, result to it. Now, how that would be done? There has to be a shift in the mindset of a teacher. You need to be a facilitator. You need to be a guide. You need to be a coach rather than just giving the lecture. You need to accept the fact that you are not the sole source of the knowledge. Instead, from being a source of knowledge, you need to curate the resources. Don't be just dependent on the resources that are already available. There are times when you need something that is not available. Develop it. Develop your own resources. Explore. Provide it to the other educators also. It is very important. If you are going to think that you are the one who knows everything, it is going to be very boring. It is going to be very stagnant. No. Develop. That is the key to development. Develop is the key to the development. Until you're not going to develop your own resources as per the needs of your students, as per the needs of the community in general, there is no growth. It's all stagnant. It's all mundane. We are supposed to go beyond ordinary. That is what, as an educator, we aim at. Along with that, it is important that we accept our own vulnerabilities as well. It takes a lot of courage to accept that we might be wrong in the class. But when you express it in front of children, they are going to value it. They are going to see you as humans, that we can also make mistakes. At times we also ruin things. And with respect to technology, they are going to know more than us. Even if we belong to the 21st century skills, still they are the ones who are learning something new every day, more than us. They have the exposure more than us. It is important to accept it and be in this constant cycle of learning. That is very important. Apart from that, it is important that as an educator, as a teacher, we prioritize the student's voice. There was a time when we used to suppress them. We used to show that whatever the teacher is saying is correct and that is important. Whatever you say, you feel that is not important. No. Now it's the student. Everything is student or child centric. So is their voice. It is important to prioritize, to respect, and to hear what are they saying, what are their choices, and to focus upon the relationship that is being built between the teacher and the student, and the relationship that we are trying to build between the student and the topic, so that they know what are we talking about, they know what we want them to learn. That is another thing. Now, there are various strategies as to what was the main theme about how do we cater the Gen Zs? How do we cater the digital generation? As I already told you, if you aim to see that we are just going to be using the blackboard or just the mundane methods, no. World has gone beyond it. The digital world has come into the existence, and it is important that we start utilizing it. Just using the ordinary or the traditional methods is not going to help, because that is something the students already know and they are very much bored of it. So one of the common strategies that you can go for is flipped classroom model. Now what happens here, the teacher is a facilitator and it is the students who are going to present the topic, who are going to teach the class. And we as facilitators are going to pick up or guide them where they are facing the issue, where they're facing the problem and explaining maybe. Fine. Flipped classrooms generally are easier to go with the topics that are already aware to the students. But if we want to go with the topic that they're not aware of, in flipped classroom model, the teacher do provides with the resource, right? For example, if I am teaching English and I take some grammar topic, if I'm taking prepositions, let's say, there is no need for me to provide the content as such. But when they're teaching in the class, I have to give my add-ons. I have to help them out with where they are lacking, or if maybe they're facing some kind of issue, right? But if, let's say, I'm going for some science topic, telling them about the periodic table, right? They cannot explain it themselves because that is new to them, right? Instead, what has to be done? I am supposed to provide them with the material. I'm supposed to tell them how they can go about it, and then they are going to take the class. Flipped classroom is very interesting if you go about it, because it gives the child to build and develop their knowledge. Another is project-based learning. Provide them with a project, make the groups, ask them to explore. Here you can have the collaboration. It can go in the individual method, it can go with the collaboration as well. I generally suggest the collaboration because project-based learnings generally require research. And when there is an input of 2, 3, 5 students, it is better and it is more fruitful as well. Another is gamification. Now, NEP talks about it. It says that learning has to be fun, inculcating in a way that they are playing it is something that is going to enhance the learning. There are various apps that I'm going to tell in the next slide as well. In the class also, if you cannot include some kind of app, there are times every school or every environment does not have an internet. Develop the games, inculcate the child in it, organize it, frame it, how you can develop a game. For example, I once went for a Shark Tank activity. Shark Tank is something that everyone is aware of in the class these days. Organize it. Whatever you see in the on the TV, it can be used inside the classroom as well. In Shark Tank, it was a kind of a game, but it also helped the child in gaining the exposure in a lot of sense. In terms of developing the communication as well, thinking, critical thinking. It was not just about selling the product. It was about thinking the product, how to sell it, marketing, develop the product, right? And this is how it makes the learning interesting. Micro learning. Never aim to include a lot of things, a lot of topics in the same class. It is going to overwhelm them. They're not going to pay attention. You will lose their attention. Along with that, it is going to be very boring and they might just get lost. They won't be able to connect the dots. Too much of it is not for the students. Include multimedia. YouTube, create interactive sessions, collaborative tools. There are a lot of apps. You can inculcate YouTube. You can, if you're showing some video, if you're curating your own resource, you can make a video that is in the form of a reel. They're going to watch it. Reel is something, the YouTube shorts are something that students are very much into. They are going to watch it with a lot of interest. And all these, it's not like they can only be inculcated in English or SST. It can be inculcated in any subject. It just depends. You're supposed to be very creative about it, how you're going to inculcate all these things. Bring real life voices into the class. Talk about your experiences. Talk about the experiences of the famous people. Talk about the experiences of the ordinary people. Bring tech talks in the class. Students do hear it out. Students feel that what they are feeling maybe is also something that others are feeling, right? They generate that connection, that relevance. They don't feel left out, right? And it also enhances the learning, obviously. It makes it interesting. It helps in holding the attention of them, right? Discussion-based learning, just being in an environment where there is no discourse, where there is no dialogue, it is going to be boring, right? When a student feels that, yes, I have that safe environment where I can put my thoughts, For that, it is important that you accept all the thoughts. If you're going to say, no, 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 what you're saying is wrong, or maybe what are you saying? This is not how you talk. They're not going to talk. They're not going to express. When you're talking about learning, it has to be discussion based. Inputs of a lot of people in terms of students and yours as well. Be positive about it. You cannot directly attack them. You cannot indirectly attack them. This is not the work of a teacher, right? The discussion has to be healthy. You're supposed to mold it out if you feel that it is going in a negative way. That is work of a teacher, because we are the facilitators. We are the ones controlling the environment of the class. We might not have the control of what the students is about to say, but we can mold it out. We can change the whole scenario. We can put up various examples, right? Whatever content that is being shared, whatever the content that is being generated has to be student-centered. Fine. Along with that, you can use the content that is student created as well. Now, when a student creates it, there is a possibility that he or she includes a lot of things, be it in a video, or it can be an infographics, or it can be some kind of YouTube link that maybe you did not see. I have seen, when I have seen the students presenting, they at times they create such beautiful these learning aids, very beautiful, way beyond our imagination. They are very creative. The only thing is we need to provide them with a positive environment. We need to provide them with an open space where they can actually, present their creativity to the world, where they can show their hidden talents. Now, these are some of the apps or the tools that can be used. Kahoot, quizzes, Blookit, Gimkit, Mentimeter. Mentimeter is something that even I have used. Kahoot I have used. Quizzes I have used. Mentimeter is for creating an interactive presentation. Now, it is a place where you can add as many students, and they can have the poll. They can create those, have you seen those cloud words that are created, right? You have the privilege to do that as well. Students are very, very much interested in doing all these things. Canva is one of the things very popular, and it is very helpful for us. Adobe Express, we have Google Workplace. Now, Google Workspace is very effective for a teacher. You can have Google Classrooms, you can use the slides, the docs, you can generate Google Forms. Now, when you have Google Forms, you can give instant feedbacks as well. Let's say you have developed some assessment on the Google form. Fine, you have added the answers also, and you have added the marks also. Once the form is filled and they have submitted, they'll get the immediate feedback. Very productive, very useful in terms of a teacher. Now, another is Padlet. Very common, provides you with the bulletin board, the students add on. It's a works. Every student has their own board then, and you can see everyone's response to it, right? Another thing that we have, Twinkle, is it is an app kind of thing. The website provides worksheets, lesson plans. It provides a lot of things. But basically, it has the worksheets for the young learners, right? Where it is very creative. Fine. Apart from that, magicschool.ai and eduate.ai, these are the savories for a teacher. You can create whatever you want. The lesson plan, the question paper, the critical thinking questions, thoughts, basic questions, read to context questions, anything. You name it and you have it. You just have to explore it out. You can create crosswords, you can create true and false, you can create matching. It's just up to you. You can set the grade, you can provide them the topic, you can either you provide or the content, or they are going to take it themselves. You can create unseen passages, you can create questions, you can create whatnot. The vocabulary worksheets, you can create the grammar worksheets, you can create. There are a lot of things in these two that you can create. Mine is the personal reference to these two. I have used these a lot. So I know how good they are. They're really helpful. Something that it is something that is going to take, let's say, half an hour. This can help you complete it in 10 to 15 minutes. It is going to generate it out and you can edit as per your needs and it's done. Chat GPT is one of it, but at times you need to invest a lot of time in generating out what you actually need from the chat GPT. But with these two, it is very precise. It is going to generate what you actually need when you put things rightly. And it has it options as well. You can create the rubrics as well. If you're organizing some activity in the class and you want a rubric, so it is going to provide you that also. So these are some of the tools that are going to make your class very interactive. The students are going to find it amazing. You can create quizzes and you can provide them with the link, and it also provides an instant feedback. A lot of these are able to provide an instant feedback depending on how you're putting the settings. And once that happens, the child generates the interest. They are invested. They wait for their class. And what is best for a teacher than the children waiting for the class? Right? So it is important that we look beyond the traditional methods. We do incorporate it, but we are not solely dependent on it. We prioritize the need of the child. We prioritize, at times we have a lot of students. At times what, there's diversity. There are always students with different needs, and it is important as a teacher and as an educator to cater to these needs, right? So once that happens, using these tools, we are able to cater those needs. We are able to help them out. We are able to create resources that meet their requirement, right? So with this, I will say thank you, and I would.
Yashvi, I have received a couple of questions, on my WhatsApp. Only 2 questions I can ask because of the time constraint. We're already 40 minutes. One question, what are some examples of resources that teachers can curate to support diverse learning needs and styles? Each child is unique. You have explained about the tools that can be used. Do you have any tools for the special needs children or like for the special educators that can be used by them?
Resources, the tools that I showed, that can be used for the special children as well. Because at times what happens is we do generate different question papers. We do generate different questions. The fonts are different. So the same tools can be used to generate a variety of questions. They have a very wide range of question bank with them. And according to the need, according to the criteria that you have said, they are going to provide you with the questions. So for a child who needs a simpler question, they have that also, and you can develop that from it. And a child who is gifted or maybe who is extraordinary, you can generate a hot kind of question for them also with the same tools, with the same apps. So these tools are very much helpful in terms of that. And with reference to the resources, like, we need to explore what is the need of the child, what is the way in which the child wants to learn. There are a lot of children who want to look out and hear out. Fine. So infographics is there, videos are there, PPTs are there. These are some of the very common ones. Now, instead of going for a bigger video, we can go for the short clips, reels, shorts. These are something that excites the child because they're seeing those regularly also. So just the way we see reels on our phones, where a lot of information is there, but it is put in a very creative way, right? Put the information in a way that it gains the attention of this child. If you're going to keep the video boring, we're not going to look at it. The colors, the font, the music, the content that is there, do it in a story form rather than just blandly putting it. Do it in a story form, short stories, the way it is there on the Instagram. It actually helps in making the class very interesting.
So another question, ma'am, how can teachers create a safe and supportive learning environment that encourages vulnerability and openness, particularly when it comes to technology?
So one is this cordial relationship between a teacher and a student. If the child is there in this constant fear that if they're going to share something out, the teacher is going to blast, then the child is not going to tell anything, and he or she is going to be more dependent on technology. So the teacher has to be empathetic, but along with that, she needs to accept that the children have that kind of exposure. So she has to be a facilitator. She needs to acknowledge the fact that yes, I know you have a lot of technological exposure, and you are seeing a lot of things. Maybe you know a lot of things more than me, but then you have to give something to them so that they know that you also know something more than them. They can look out to you for the learning. Be positive in the class. If you're going to constantly criticize, अच्छा तुम तो इंटरनेट से पढ़ के आए, अच्छा तुमने तो ट्यूशन में कर लिया, that is not going to help. Instead, it is going to create a very negative environment in the class. Be empathetic, be positive, acknowledge what the students are saying, but along with that, give them something that they look out to you as well. Otherwise, the content is there on the internet. Everyone can see. We also have access to it. We also look out for it. We also learn things from it. But it is our responsibility to give something beyond what internet is actually offering. And the same thing in the class with a very positive attitude and by being very empathetic about it.
Coming to the student created content, as you discussed that you have to pay attention to their content too. What are some ways to assess and provide feedback on student created content?
Student created content, one was Google Forms, as I told. Google Classroom is also one of the ways. Like, you can provide them a Google form and then they are going to upload or post whatever the assignment is. In that case, there is an individual feedback that can go. At times, what happens is if you give a collective feedback, it is not useful for the kids. And if you give them in front of everyone, that is also not useful, because if it is not up to the mark, the child feels very bad. So if required, give them the individual feedback. Google Forms, Google Classroom is very much useful in that case. Otherwise, if it is in a hard copy, then write it down in their sheets. Like, I remember when I was in my education time, when I was in the university, my teachers used to give the written comment in the assignment or in the exam itself. One or two comments, if you appreciate it, and I have seen it myself because I've done it myself. I experienced it with my teachers, I did it with my own students, and I saw when you write the comment in the sheet, in the paper, in the assignment that they have given, it actually motivates them. It makes them feel as if they are heard, as if they are listened, because they feel valued. They think that yes, whatever effort they have put in the assignment, that was seen by the teacher and she has actually read it. Otherwise, what happens is that the students feel whatever we do, the teacher is not going to see, and everyone is going to get similar marks, and the one who is favorite is going to get more. But when you give these individualized comments to them, they do feel that the feedback has been given, the teacher has valued them, and that turns out to be very positive. It brings better results as well.
Right. So thank you, Ms. Yashvi, for sharing your knowledge on our platform. Thank you for the talk and for patiently answering all the questions, ma'am. Before I end the session, anything else you want to mention?
No, thank you. I just would like to express my gratitude to you for providing such a platform to me and giving me a chance. And I'm very grateful. Thank you so much.
The same from
It was
our
such a nice experience. Thank you.